Hello and welcome back. It's the Ards 5 mile run tonight, and a throwback to the last time I done this race. The time to beat is 34:59 from 2018. I think it's safe to say that time's definitely not happening tonight. We'll see how it goes anyway. This is the final sort of tune-up race, as it were, before the Great North Run. As you can see here, it was, especially by today's standards for myself, a very impressive time, just under the 35-minute mark. Really strong pace, first mile in the 6 minutes and the last mile in the low 6 minutes, which is something I can only dream of at the minute, but it's nice to know that it's in here somewhere. As you can see, the reason for that and the sort of drop off in pace, as it were, although to call mid 7 minutes or high 7 minutes a drop off in pace is quite a luxury these days, but you can see the elevation at the second and third mile is just pretty much straight up, but a really nice sharp downhill finish, which is going to be appreciated tonight. Going to be wearing a new pair of shoes, just got them last week, only been released in the past couple of weeks. The new Saucony Speed 3s, going to see how they get on, and then post race do a bit of an evaluation and kind of mini review here, including the specs, the price, and my opinion on how they performed in the first race I've done in them. So let's go get them on and chat during the race. Well, just back from the race, and really good race, probably the best this year. Really happy with that one, really happy with the shoes, which I'll talk about in a moment, but yeah, really good time for me given the current fitness level. So just get straight into it. As you can see here, 43:15 was the time for the 5 miles, just over 5 miles measured in the watch, and that's 8:33 pace on average for the run, which is fantastic. It's faster than I've done with park runs as well. And the best pace just at the end there, 6:23 per mile, which is really tight, actually finishing off like that. But the heart rate I'm quite happy with, 166 average. As you can see here, started off really steady the first 2 miles, pretty flat. Then the next 2 are mainly uphill. And then the last one, the 7:39, was at mile 5, all very much downhill. And that's reflected obviously here in the heart rate and the pace. As you can see, the elevation here. First 2 miles is fine, first 2 miles is dead on. And then it really goes up, it really ramps up for the next couple, and then a steep drop at mile 5. So very happy with that. Say it wasn't easy as the courses, but it is a really good rewarding finish. Got a bit of fatigue in the legs, but coming down that hill and round to the finish line is just really good. And you can see legs open out here, sprinting for the finish. So really pleased with that, feeling great. And the whole plan was to go out and try about 9-minute pace, see if that's something could hold for the Great North. Obviously went a bit faster than that, which is probably a good sign. So yeah, going to pick up the, well, these are the Alpha Flies here, potentially. Or one of the pairs of Vaporfly, most likely these ones. Use them for Great North and see if we can make that go under 2 hours. So yeah, move on to talk about the only shoe that's not here, the shoe used tonight, which was the Saucony Speed 3. Just going to put some stats up on the screen in terms of the weight, stack height, heel toe drop, and also the price here, at least in the UK. I think overall, I found it a really nice and comfortable shoe to run in tonight. Plenty of cushioning and really good energy return, with a nice bouncy feeling without being too unstable. I think that's partly due to the nylon plate in the midsole, which is a bit more forgiving than the carbon plate in the current racing shoes and top of the line Saucony Endorphin Pro 3. But it still has the benefits of stability, and it still harnesses the same super foam for the real responsiveness that you want to get from one of these faster shoes. There's also really good grip at the bottom of this shoe as well, and that's not always the case with these more speed focused trainers, so it's really appreciated when you're coming downhill, a bit like the last mile tonight. Just to go into some of the pros and cons. Again, the weight, very lightweight for a shoe with this stack height and with this comfort. And again, the second point would be the comfort and responsiveness is excellent in this shoe. The wide toe box, as well as someone with slightly wider feet, the extra space you have in there makes the ride all the more comfortable. No chance of blisters or anything like that. And also the very grippy outsole is a real positive. On the con side, it's obviously not as fast as the carbon plate shoes. It's a bit more comfortable, it's a bit more forgiving, but it won't have that raw pace they would have. And if you do have narrow feet, you might have a bit more slippage, you might have a bit too much space in the toe box. And also these elasticated laces, bit of a strange design choice and not the most practical when you're lacing them up. But again, we're sort of grasping at straws. This is an excellent shoe, really happy with how it felt. I think I'll definitely be bringing it out on the park runs going forward, probably try some shorter races. Ultimately then, a great shoe from Saucony, one I really enjoyed running in, and taking into account the price, performance and overall value, have to give this a 9 out of 10. A very near perfect shoe. Thanks everyone, see you in the next video.